Gerald Manley Hoppkins Selected Poetry, Oxford World Classics. Some doesn't have the completed poems he did, but I will be reading from those who have completed the description. So, for my first one, I'll do a vision of the mermaids. A vision of the mermaids. Rowing, I reached a rock. The sea was low, which the tides cover in the overflow, marking the spot when they have gurgled over, with a thin floating veil of water hoar. A mile astern lay the blue shores away, and it was at the setting of the day. Plum purple was the west, but spikes of light spared open lustrous gashes, crimson white. Where the eye fixed fled the encrimsoning spot, and gathering floated where the gaze was not. And through the parting lips they came and went, keen glimpses of the inner firmament. Fair beds they seemed of water lily flakes, clustering and entrancing in beryl lakes. Anon across their swimming splendor stroke an intense line of throbbing blood light shook. A quivering pennon, then for eye too keen, ebbed back beneath its snowy lids. Now all things rosy turned the west had grown to an orbed rose, which, by hot pantings blown, apart betwixt 10,000 petaled lips, by interchange gasped splendor and eclipse. The zenith melted to a rose of air. The waves were rosy-lipped, the crimson glare showered the cliffs and every fret and spire with garnet wreaths and blooms of rosy-budded fire. Then, looking on the waters, I was aware of something drifting through the lighted air, an isle of roses and another near, and more on each hand thicken and appear, and shoals of bloom as in peopled skies, saved by 2 stars, more crowding lights arise, and planets bud where we turn our amazed eyes. I gaze unhindered, mermaids 6 or 7, rising from the deeps to gaze on sun and heaven, clustered in troops and haloed by the light. Those cyclades radiated thickened on my sight. This was their manner, one translucent crest of tremulous film, more subtle than the rest, of dewy gorse blurred with gossamer fine, from crown to tail fin, floating, fringed with mine, drooped over the brows like Hector's casque, and swayed in silken undulation, spurred and reed, with spiked quills, all of intensest hue, and was thou some sapphire molten blue, were veined and streaked with dusk deep, less clearly, or tender pinks with bloody Tyrian dye. From the white waist a silver skirt was to mantle o'er the tail, such as is shed around the water nymphs in fretted falls, at red Pompeii on medallioned walls, a tinted fin on either shoulder hung. Their panty dark or bronzed locks were strung with coral shells, thick pearled cords, whatever the abysmal ocean hordes of strange and rare. Some trailed the nautilus or on the swell, tugged the bust smooth-lipped giant Strombia's shell. Some carried the sea fan, some round the head, with lace of roseweed were chapelled, one bound o'er dripping gold, a turquoise gemmed circlet of astral flowerets, diademed like a Assyrian prince, with buds unsheathed from fresh flowers of the rock, but more were wreathed with a dainty, delicate, fretted fringe of fingers of jacketline thing that where it lingers, borders the nets with fans of amethyst and silver flames beneath with pearl mist. The blotches clipped, others small braids encrusted of glassy clear alias metal lustrate, with growths of myriad flowers, crystalline to show the crimson streams that inward shine, which lighten over the muddy rose field, like shivered rubies dance or sheen of sapphire hail. Then saw I sudden from the water's break, far off in nearer the company and shriek. From wings the swan fledged a wheel of watery light, flickering with the funny spooks, and left and right, plunged orbed in rainbow arcs, and trample and thread, the satin profile smooth to foam and spread. Slim pointed seagull blooms, and drooped behind one scarlet feather trailing to the wind. Then, like a flock of seafowl mounting higher, rose crimson golden floods, as swallowed into fire. Soon as when summer of his sister spring crushes and tears the rare in jewelry, and boasting I have fairer things than these, flashes amidst the bellowing apple trees, his lusty hand in gusts of and swirling out bloom till all the air is blind with rosy foam and pelting blossom and midst of driving vermilion rain, and as he lists the dainty onyx cornels deflowers, a glorious wanton all wrecks in showers, crowd down upon a stream and jostling thick, with bubbles dried struggle and stick, of tangled shawls that bar the brook, a crowd of filmy globes and rosy floating cloud. So those myrmidons crowded to my rock, and thickened like that drifting bloom, the flock, sun-flushed, until it seemed their father sea had gotten him a wreath of sweet spring broidery. Careless of me, they sported. Some would splash their languid smooth with dimpling drops, and flash their flimsy tails down whose length they showed an azure ridge, or clouds of violet glowed, or span scale, or threads of carmine, shot through silver gloomed to a blood-vivid clot. Some, diving merrily, downward drove, and gleamed with arms and fin. The argent bubbles streamed, airwards disturbed, and the scarce troubled steam, gurgled where they had sunk, melodiously. Others with fingers white would comb among the drenched hair of slabby weeds that swung, swimming and languished green, upon the deep, down that dank rock o'er which their long cheeses weep. And a sweet sadness dwells on everyone. But most in our house circle watch the sun, and a sweet sadness dwells on everyone. I knew not why, but know that sadness dwells on mermaids where they ring their keels. A seaman wheel in thousands of the mid-mean, as poets sing, oh, that is pain. To know the depths of the ponderous sea, the miles proud of solid green, and be it would lose cold fingers, far from man, or what I know that is sadness, but pause not. No, not. Then they thus range again, make full plaintively, a piteous siren sweetness on the sea, without an instrument, or conch, or bell, or stretch chords to another or to only with utterance of sweet breath this song, an antique chant, and in an unknown tongue. Now melting upward through the sloping scale, swell the sweet strain to a melodious wail. Now ringing clarion clear, to whence it rose, slumbered at last in one sweet, deep, heart-broken close. But when the sun had collapsed to ocean, lo, a stealthy wind crept round, seeking to blow, lingered, then raised the washing waves, and drenched the floating blooms, and with tide flowing quenched the rose isles, so that I stole away and gained through growing dusk the tireless bay. White loomed my rock, the water gurgled over, when soft I watched but see the mermaids now no more the end. Gerald Manley Hoppkins Selected Poetry in the next video sometime next week. Goodbye for now, and I hope you like this session on selected poetry.